Good morning, and welcome to your AIDailyPress morning podcast for May 31, 2026. I'm your host, Walter. First, in Venezuela, opposition leader Edgar Zamora has called for presidential elections, seeking a peaceful resolution to the country's ongoing crisis. The international community is watching closely, with many calling for a legitimate and stable government. Next, the World Health Organization has sounded the alarm over a rapidly escalating Ebola outbreak in the Democratic Republic of Congo. With over 500 suspected cases and at least 50 deaths reported, the situation is deeply alarming, and the response to the outbreak has not yet caught up with the rapid spread of the disease. And finally, in South America, Colombia has accused Ecuador of deliberate interference in its general elections. The controversy surrounds Ecuadorian President Daniel Noboa's decision to eliminate tariffs on Colombian imports after holding talks with an opposition candidate. This development adds a new layer of complexity to an already contentious election, and we'll be monitoring the situation closely. And don't forget to share your thoughts with us on social media using the hashtag AIDailyPress. Now, for the latest in social and cultural news, here is Barbara Waters.
Thank you, Walter. Here are the top stories we're following today. First, in international news, the United States, the United Kingdom, and Australia have announced a joint project to develop underwater drone technology to protect undersea cables and enhance defense capabilities in the Indo-Pacific region. In another story, a federal judge has temporarily frozen payments from the Trump administration's anti-weaponization fund, which was established to compensate individuals who claim they were wrongly targeted under the Biden administration. Critics argue that this move amounts to self-dealing and could potentially use taxpayer money to pay rioters who attacked the U.S. Capitol. And in a related development, another federal judge has ordered attorneys for Trump and the DOJ to address allegations that the settlement creating the anti-weaponization fund was an attempt to deceive her. We'll be watching these stories closely and bringing you updates as more information becomes available. We're also following reports of a suspected mine in the Strait of Hormuz, which authorities are working to verify. This incident highlights the ongoing risks and uncertainties in the region, with potential implications for global trade and security. I'm Barbara. Now for the latest in business and finance, here is Louis Riskweiser.
Thank you, Barbara. Firstly, Dell's impressive performance has been making headlines, with a significant beat and raise in their recent earnings report, drawing comparisons to NVIDIA Corp's success earlier this year. The company's commitment to innovation and strategic growth has paid off, with its stock soaring to new heights. Next up, we have Robinhood Markets, the pioneering financial services platform that's been disrupting traditional norms with its AI-powered trading and banking tools. While the valuation multiple is steep and there are risks involved, the potential for high teens earnings growth over the next 3 years is certainly appealing. As always, caution and due diligence are essential when considering this investment. Lastly, we're looking at the burgeoning space industry, with several new space-themed exchange-traded funds launching in recent months. The upcoming SpaceX initial public offering has investors flocking to these ETFs, but experts warn of potential volatility, citing the launchpad explosion of Blue Origin's New Glenn rocket as a reminder of the risks involved. As the space industry continues to evolve, it's essential for investors to approach these investments with a critical eye. Remember to stay informed, stay cautious, and always keep your eyes on the horizon. Now, for the latest in science and technology, here is Carl Starman.
Thank you, Louis. Firstly, NASA's ambitious plans for establishing a lunar base are moving forward despite recent setbacks. The agency has ordered cutting-edge lunar rovers from 2 companies, Astrolab and Lunar Outpost, which will enable astronauts to explore hundreds of miles across the lunar terrain. These state-of-the-art vehicles will operate for up to a year, conducting scientific experiments and expanding our understanding of the moon's geology. Secondly, we've been following the developments in the space race between SpaceX and Blue Origin. Unfortunately, Blue Origin suffered a significant setback with the explosion of its New Glenn rocket during a hot fire test. This incident raises questions about the reliability of Blue Origin's technology, but it's essential to recognize that competition between private enterprises drives innovation and progress. Lastly, we're looking forward to a rare celestial event, a blue moon, which is expected to occur on May 19, 2026. This phenomenon happens approximately every 2 or 3 years when there are 2 full moons in a single month, captivating the imagination of people worldwide. As we explore and understand our celestial neighbor, we may uncover new opportunities for scientific advancement, commercial growth, and inspiration for generations to come. Now for the latest in sports, here is Howard Closewell.
Thank you, Carl. We have a trio of significant stories to cover, and I'll give you a brief rundown of each. Firstly, in the world of baseball, Garrett Cole, the New York Yankees pitcher and key figure in the MLB Players Association, expressed optimism about ongoing labor negotiations between players and team owners. Despite the challenges ahead, including disagreements over a salary cap, Cole believes that finding common ground is possible, and he highlighted the progress made in the last collective bargaining agreement. Secondly, we're looking at the upcoming UEFA Champions League final, where Liverpool will face off against Real Madrid. This matchup promises to be an exciting clash between 2 football giants, with both teams having a rich history of success in the competition. We'll be providing in-depth analysis and updates leading up to the big game. Lastly, in college football, the story of Brendan Sorsby, the Texas Tech quarterback embroiled in a sports wagering controversy, has taken a complex turn. Sorsby made over 2,000 bets totaling more than $40,000 while he was a freshman at Indiana, including wagers on Hoosiers games and players. The NCAA has ruled him ineligible due to his gambling activities, but Texas Tech has filed an appeal after the NCAA denied Sorsby's eligibility reinstatement petition. This case highlights the challenges of navigating sports betting in college athletics and the need for support systems for athletes struggling with addiction. These stories will continue to unfold, and we'll be keeping a close eye on them. Stay informed, and let's dive deeper into each of these topics throughout our morning podcast. Now for the latest in travel and human interest, here is Charles Curl.
Thank you, Howard. I'm Charles, and today we're summarizing 3 important stories that have unfolded across the globe. Firstly, we reported on a health alert in the United States where a recall of contaminated food products has led to a nationwide investigation. We spoke with experts and officials who are working tirelessly to ensure public safety and prevent further incidents. Secondly, we delved into a dramatic story unfolding in Perry County, Alabama, where 4 inmates escaped from a correctional facility. Law enforcement agencies are actively searching for the escapees, and we've been following the developments closely. We'll continue to provide updates as more information becomes available. Lastly, we travel to the Emerald Isle, where a tragic event has shaken the community of Clifton in County Galway. A 35-year-old mother of 2, Masume Yafri Manohan, was found deceased, and a man has been charged with her murder. We've been reflecting on the human element of this story, remembering that every life has value and every story deserves to be told with dignity and compassion. These stories remind us of the complexities and challenges we face as a society, from public health concerns to correctional system issues and tragic crimes. As we navigate these complex issues, we'll continue to seek out the voices of those who are working tirelessly to make a difference in their communities. Now for the latest in fashion and entertainment, here is Joan Streams.
Thank you, Charles. First up, we've got an update on the K-drama scene with The Legend of Kitchen Soldier, a CJENM production that's taken the globe by storm. This captivating series explores themes of camaraderie, perseverance, and self-discovery, and it's available to stream on Rakuten Viki, TVI and HBO Max. Next, we're talking about Anderson Paak's latest project, K-Pops, a star-studded album that brings together top K-pop stars, Korean R&B and hip-hop artists, and international talent. This 17-track masterpiece is inspired by Tupac's feature film and directorial debut of the same name, which premiered on Netflix. And finally, we touched on the latest news about Lady Gaga, but it looks like that story didn't make it into our recap today. No worries, folks. We'll catch you up on all the juiciest gossip soon. Stay entertained and keep on dramatizing. Tune in tomorrow for more updates from the world of entertainment. Now for the latest in nature and environment, here is David Nature.
Thank you, Joan. Firstly, we explored the fascinating story of AST Spacemobile stock, which has been making headlines due to a recent rocket explosion affecting its launch plans. Despite this setback, the company's long-term prospects remain promising, with a fully funded satellite program and significant cash reserves. Next, we delved into the world of music streaming, where Apple Music may be considering a shift in its subscription model. New discoveries suggest that the company could be exploring more flexible and affordable options for users, potentially including cheaper plans or restricted listening tiers. This development comes as the music streaming industry continues to evolve in response to changing consumer needs. Lastly, we touched on an innovative story about AST Spacemobile's satellite launch plans and the recent downgrade of its stock by Deutsche Bank analyst Brian Kraft. We also discussed the potential risks and opportunities associated with this situation, emphasizing the importance of a balanced perspective. Tune in to our full episodes for more in-depth analysis and updates on these stories. And that completes our morning podcast for today. Thank you for listening. Until this evening, I'm David Attenacher for AI Daily Press, the world's most unbiased news source.